Okay, here's something to think about for your business. Is solving your business's problems actually costing you customers? Right? It sounds like that shouldn't even be a thing, but sometimes when we try to solve the problems that our business has, it ends up actually costing us customers and clients. I had two experiences this week, 2 days in a row, that have absolutely made me crazy and driven this point home. And a little background here, I hate complicated processes, especially when you come across complicated processes that you feel only exist in order to be complicated. It's like they're contrived. The work was created just to have more work. I will walk away from things and have before jumping through hoops after hoop after hoop after hoop. Makes me absolutely nuts. So here's the deal. We moved quite a while ago. I needed to change the address on my driver's license. I also needed new stickers for my license plate. Here in Illinois, we get these little stickers for our license plate. Mine were expired. My driver's license hadn't been updated. And both of those things are because the ridiculousness of the process of dealing with the DMV makes me crazy. But I knew I had to take care of it. So off I go, right? I go to the DMV, make an appointment. So far, so good. Easy peasy. It was the same afternoon. First, I got checked in outside the building by a gentleman who wanted to see the email confirmation I received saying that I had an appointment. Great. Then I stand in line, not for very long, and I meet a woman who is now going to make sure I have all the paperwork I need to have my appointment, to change my address on my driver's license. I show her what I brought with me after a little bit of very stereotypical DMV snark, which was kind of entertaining. We're off to the races. We have been, number one, approved that we have an appointment. Number two, approved that we have the right paperwork. So now I'm on to step number 3, which is to get my picture taken. No problem, easy peasy. Now I'm on to step number 4. I'm sitting in a pool of people who are sitting and waiting for my number to be called to go up and get all my paperwork officially processed. So what is that? Step 4, officially processing the paperwork. Very nice lady, not a long wait. She had 85 things she had to do with the 3 pieces of paper I brought, which I found oddly complicated, but all right, she did it. That was great. Then she sends me to the cashier. So I pay my $5. Okay, no problem. Pay my $5 to get my new license. And he tells me, go stand over there by that sign. Just go stand over there by that sign. I said, okay. A woman from that counter looks at me and says, are you waiting to take a written test? I look at her and I answer, I have no idea. I have no idea at this point what could possibly still need to happen to change an address on a driver's license that is not expired and requires no testing. I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm waiting for. I was laughing. She was laughing. Again, no one was mean, but this is crazy. So she looks at me and she says, oh, you're not waiting for a test. You're waiting for your temporary license. I said, okay, great. No, I'm not waiting for a test. I'm waiting for my temporary license. She hands that to me. Now, here's the thing. Remember, I also need a sticker for my license plate. So now I go back to the beginning. I go all the way back to the beginning line. Now I'm in a different line. That one was a little longer, but not so bad. Again, nice people. Got up to the front and she tells me I can't get a sticker because first I need an emissions test. Now, there was no way for me to know this ahead of time. There was no notification. So I need an emissions test, but in order to be legal to drive, I need a temporary sticker. Great. So now we're on to the next line and the next person, not a long wait, but I'm now talking to another person to give me the paperwork, to process the paperwork for a temporary sticker. That takes a few minutes because there was confusion over what exactly a Mini Cooper is and who makes it. That got sorted out. And now she sends me to yet another person who is going to take the $10 fee for the temporary sticker. I was at this place for 1 hour. That's all. I was only there for an hour. I spoke to 9 different people over the course of an hour, and the problem is still not solved. I still have more to do to get a new sticker and to update a driver's license. This is crazy. This is this is the definition of work having been created just to have more work. I will spare you the details of what happened to me the very next day when I tried to update my debit card with the cable company. It was just as bad, and the problem is still not solved. This is what happens, though. And I watch businesses do this to themselves. I watch small businesses do this to themselves over and over and over again. A problem happens. A problem happens. Maybe a financial problem, maybe a team member problem. There's a problem. And so you solve the problem. And then the next problem happens, and then you solve the next problem, and then the next problem happens, and then you solve the next problem. That's totally normal, because as the business owner, one of the hats you wear is chief problem solver. So I get it. It's totally normal that we solve for these problems. But the next thing you know, you are 9 layers deep. You're 9 layers deep in a problem solving mode for a problem the business used to have. The original problem might not even be a problem anymore, but you've complicated the process of it, right? The problem took on a life of its own, and then the solutions took on a life of their own. And here's the deal. We're not the DMV. We're not the cable company. Most of us don't own companies that the general public are literally forced to work with. Our clients have options. And if you make it hard to work with you, or frustrating to work with you, or confusing to work with you, they are going to choose to work with somebody else. And tech comes into this a lot, where we try to make things more efficient by adding the next layer of tech. And sometimes all that does is add a layer of confusion. It's a really good practice. Like, what do you do about this? It's a really good practice to go through anything in your business that is client facing, especially, like at least once or twice a year, and take a good look at how this feels from the client's perspective. And I get it. Like I said, you could be dealing with some real issues, tech, finances, legal, team, you name it, all the moving parts of a business. But if you only focus on solving the business's problems instead of the client's problems, you kind of end up with no business to worry about.